Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Decryption and I hope you are well. So this video is going to be a bit of a wacky video because it's actually in the middle of another video. So I'm currently making a video giving an update about the open world design of the game, but in order for me to progress that update, I need a way to make doors open level instances, not just levels and data layers and spawning actors. I need a level instance. And we liked the door system. You lot like the door system, so I figured I'd add on to it as another extension. So I've recorded the first part of my devlog of the world. I'm stopping to record the door modifications, and then I'm jumping back into the devlog video. So let's get started. So yes, as you may or may not have seen depending when this video comes out versus the other video, I'm looking at the feedback I got for my open world, and one of them was, the world's too small. Like this one here, if I just show the correct data layer, the world's really small here, and I'm using data layers to load these in and out. But the problem with data layers is you can't hide landscapes or foliage. You can't, you're limited to it. Whereas a level instance in a much bigger popularized world, you can completely lose it in the outliner, you can find it and just unload it. So what I've done is I've set this big level instance up in a editor only data layer that controls whether it's visible or not when I load this level. By default it's all turned off. But the key thing is, in the details, I've set this specific one to be editor only. So what that means is when I start the game, the world is no longer there, because it's editor only, so it completely removes it. And that's where we can handle with level instancing to spawn this in. So I've got all the benefits of an open world to be able to come and modify this as I want to, but then in the game, it completely unloads it, makes it really quick. There's no landscape, no trace of it, nothing. And then I can load it from a door any way I want to. There's other benefits to it as well. You don't just have to do it this way. Another common way is when you open a door to a house, it will spawn a level instance in this location. So then you can go in and randomize the house or something like that. That's another very popular way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and open up the generic BPA door code. And we've got this logic right here. When we call open door, we check what state we're in and we change the door's state. And if we've got a data layer to load, then we load the data layer. Otherwise, we instantly just assume we're changing maps. But we're going to change that this time. So instead of just automatically changing maps, we check if we're loading a level instance first, then we go to it. So we're adding an extra step to it. So the nodes that we're actually going to use to do all of this, unlike with data layers where you need to get the data layer manager, bind onto it, set the runtime state, wait for it, level instances are a bit easier. So we just use the load level instance by object or by name, either way you want to do it. I'm going to use object reference, and it's a soft object reference, meaning you can store it as a variable, so we'll do that in a moment. So I'll just drag this off now and just call promote to variable, and I'll call it level instance to load. And we can also store the location and the rotation of it, which will be equally good to store, so you can specifically choose where in your world it's going to load itself. So I'll call that level instance location, and we'll also do level instance rotation. You've got other variables you can choose if you want to, but I'm not going to change any of them. But the key thing is to tell when this is done is you have to use two different ways. Because if your level loads really quickly from this point, it's not actually going to tell you that it's finished. There is a small chance it can do that. So we need to do two checks. We need to first load the level, and then we need to check on it and say, have you already loaded instantly? And then if not, then we'll bind to it and say, tell me when you loaded. So the key thing here is we simply drag off the return value and do assign on level shown. And this will tell us when the level has successfully loaded into the world. But after this, what we'll also do is get level should be visible, convert that to a branch and connect that up. So we'll actually have two ways of checking it. If this one is true, we immediately jump to it. If this one's true, we jump to it then. So that's the code we're going to be using. So what I'm going to do down here is drag our level instance to load in, right click and choose to convert validator get and connect it to the is not valid. If it's not valid, we just do a map change like normal. That's fine. However, if it is valid, then I'm going to come and create a new function all the way at the bottom, a new event called load level instance. And then back up the top, where we have the is valid, we will just call load level instance, which is our new event there. I'll cut all this code here because we'll use this down below. And then in our new function, we can come and paste this in like so. We will set the variables so they're nicely organized again. So we'll set the category to be door, pipe, level instances, and we can just drag them all in like so, just to make it nice and neat. Make sure they're all instance editable as well. Hit compile and save. Now we need to just plug the rest of the door code into here so it works just like the data layers do. So the only thing we need to do when we're loading the level in is actually on our event changed here. When the data layer is activated, it does all this stuff, unbinds it, we don't need any of that. We can just take the call on data layer loaded, which is an event dispatcher so other things can use it, and play door open. We can take this down here, right at the end, we'll put it here, just in the middle, so if it's true, we connect to it, or if the level event's shown, we connect to it as well. And the next thing we need to do is actually unload this level instance if we have closed the door, for example. So back up here, where we open the door and close the door, after it's changed all the state, loaded everything, on completed here, we have this check unload data layer. So if we come and double click this one, in here, it does all the logic to see if we're behind the door, and then it simply tells the data layer to unload. So I'm going to move this across a little bit, and I'm going to come and right click the data layer to load and convert to isValidated get, just in case we don't actually have a data layer. So that was a minor bug. If it is valid, we'll unload the data layer. If it's not valid, then we actually need to unload the data layer instance, but we're not storing it anywhere currently, because the level instance is a new copy of the level. So, back up here, where we call load level instance, we actually get it right here. So what I'm going to do is promote this return value to a variable called loaded level instance. And I'm going to connect this to the level instances category. We can make it private as well, we don't need it visible. And I'll connect it all up. We can move all these bindings to the loaded level instance like so. So it looks a bit neater in that regard anyway. But then on our check unload, and then on our check unload data layer, which we'll rename in a moment, we can drag the loaded level instance in, right click and convert it to a validated get, and if it's loaded, then we can successfully call set is requesting unload and removal function, and just tick is requesting unload and removal. It's a bit of a strange one to be called that way, but that's the way you do it. And for the most part, that's pretty much it. It should load and unload properly now. So let's come and rename some of these functions to make it a bit more easier. So check unload, we'll just call it check unload. Unload the data layer or level instance, just to make it make more sense. I'll come and wrap some of this in more comments. So load map change will become load map change when moving levels, and then this one will be load the level instance. There we go. And in theory, that's all you need to do. So if we come back to the landscape here, and what I'm going to do is just put a temporary door here, because the invisible wall that I've got is a bit different. I'm just going to drop a dungeon door in like so. Then I'm going to open up the level instances, and the level instance to load is going to be my location 3, because that's my extra level I want to load. The location, I'm probably going to put it at the same location that is, so I'll copy that, paste it in here. The rotation, I believe, is 90-degree up, or it doesn't really matter for me. There is one minor fix we need to do when we're loading the level here, and that's to check if we already have the level instance loaded. And what I mean by that is, let's check it out now. So if I play from here, and we come and open this door, you can see the level is not there. But if I open it, we've still got full control, and the level loads, and then the door will open. There we go. We can now walk in this door, because remember, this type of door is for a building. But if I close it, well, I'll close it from this side, and you'll see it will unload. Boom. There you go. Got. That's it. Super nice, super nice. We can check in the outliner just to make sure there's no location 3. It's completely gone. That's my old one. But the new one's gone. If I open it up, you'll see we'll get another one. Wait for it to successfully load. And you can see it's all in this level 3 instance here, look. So it's loaded in properly. But if I come at the other side of the door and close it, remember with the other door, it's not supposed to unload it because it assumes we're inside of it. So if I close it, you can see it's currently there. Still there, which is fine technically. But if I open this door now, you'll see it delays itself. It's lagging a tiny bit, look, because it's loading the level again. And now it's actually loaded the level in twice. Meaning if we come over here and close it, it will only unload one of them because that's all it's done. So we've actually got 2 levels there, which is not what we want at all. But it's a super easy fix. So what we're going to do is come back up to BPA door. And before we call load level instance, I'm actually just going to move all of this across. And I'm just going to outright check, do we currently have one already? So I'm going to drag the loaded level instance in, validated get. If it's false, then we know we need to load it. We can go and load it, do all the checks we need to. However, if it's valid, then we're going to drag it across over here. And I'm just going to press the R key and drag it straight down into call level loaded. So it does everything it should do normally. And there is one little bug that I fixed and completely forgot to tell you about, so I'm going to tell you again. Over here where we check should be visible, I wrongly assume was a flag saying it should be visible now. It's not actually the case. It's should it be visible if it was loaded in, which is not what we want. Epic really could do with better naming on this one. But what we want is the is level loaded. Like that. And we'll plug this into the branch and do everything normal instead. So if it loaded, true, call it. If it's not loaded, do nothing and wait for this to be bound. Otherwise, if it's already loaded. That way, we don't duplicate the object multiple times. So if you try it this time, you'll see that we can come in, we can load it, and you'll see it will wait for a moment because the level's loading, boom. You'll handle that with a transition of some kind. Bearing in mind, this level I'm loading is absolutely huge. So you can disguise it by walking through a corridor or something. If I close it, the level's still there. If I open it, the level's still there and it opened very quickly this time. But if I close it this time, the level will successfully unload. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the level instance-based door. This door is like so powerful. It's so cool. The errors I'm getting are nothing to do with this. It's to do with my interaction system that I've been heavily modifying, so it's not happy about it. Don't worry about it. It's not going to affect you. But yes, these doors are absolutely epic. We have level instances, we have maps, we have data layers, we have states. You can pretty much change it all. Now, there is one minor bug I want to fix because it's very annoying. And that's when we come and open the door, it's playing the door open sound immediately. But the door's not open for a while. And then it opens. And that is purely because of in our BPA door, the first thing we do, so it looks like we're calling door state change when we open the door straight away. And this does a couple of things. It stores the rotation for the door to actually open. It plays the sound and then it deactivates it. But that's not a great way to handle it. So what I'm actually going to do is take this play sound out of here and connect it straight to deactivate. We want all that stuff to run. But what I'm going to do is when we call play door open, when we're just about to play the timeline, that's when we'll play the correct sound. So we'll plug it into here and connect it across. And we can just get the door open sound and plug it in. And we'll do the exact same thing below here for the door closing sound. So we'll just control drag that onto there and connect that to reverse. And we want the door close sound like so. That should fix the issue. So let's give it another go and make it just a lot nicer. So you see we can now come and open the door and nothing will happen. Great, it's loading in the background, it loads and then the door goes perfect. We can now open it. You'll see that kind of thing in Batman Arkham Asylum a lot. When you're going through the actual asylum, you open a door and it takes ages to load. That's it loading the level in the background. We can do the exact same. Load super quick. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is our door that loads a new level instance in the world. It's a super flexible door that you can pretty much just customize with all sorts of things to make your game work. Whether it's an interior on a data layer or a level instance, you can even change full levels with it. Super flexible, super easy. So I hope that helps. If you've got any other improvements or customization options you'd like to see on it, please let me know. My name is Decryption, and I will see you next time.